Greetings, Iain from RTO here. It's still dark. It hasn't snowed, still snowed, but it's still dark and dingy. Welcome to another classic album, and this week we're going to look at an album by Roxy Music. Roxy Music, formed in 1970 by Bryan Ferry. Had a really good career. Lots of people have played through in this band, like Phil Moranza's on guitars, Andy McKay on saxophones, Paul Thompson, Brian Eno's been in the band, Eddie Jobson. So really good band. Although they took a break in 1976, they were back again in '83, and they reunited for a concert tour in 2001. So the album we're looking at is their 8th and final studio album, Avalon. It was recorded in Nassau, Bahamas between 1981 and 1982. And it is regarded as the accumulation of the smoother and more adult-orientated sound of the band's later work. So who's on here? Bryan Ferry, of course, lead vocals, keyboards and guitar, synthesizer. We got Phil Manrenza on the keyboard, on the guitar, Andy McKay on saxophones, Neil Hubbard on guitars, Alan Spenner did some guitar work, Neil Jason did, Paul Carrick appears on this, Andy Newmark on drums as well, Rick Marotta drums, Jimmy Mallon on percussion, Kermit Moore does the cello, Fonzie Thornton some backing vocals, and Yannick Etienne backing vocals. Produced by Rhett Davis and Roxy Music. Track 1, the classic, More Than This. Love Brian's vocal on this. It is terrific, and he got some great work from Phil on his guitar. Great stuff. The space between, this one isn't too bad either. I love that funky sound on it. Love that track. And then we get the title track, Avalon, one of the great tracks from this band. Great vocal from Brian, great arrangement as well. Probably the best. This is the best track on this album. Then we got India. It's an instrumental, very short piece, but I do love that bass line. Woof, is it good? Now I don't know which bass player played on this track. We'll soon find. It was Alan Spenner. Great little piece that. While My Heart Is Still Beating, I like this. What I like about it is Andy McKay's saxophone solo. Brilliant, brilliant. Then we get the main thing. I like this song quite a lot because it's got lots of elements of classic sounding Roxy Music, and that's the way I like it. Take a Chance With Me. I like the atmosphere on here. It's very atmospheric, some great guitar work from Phil, really good track. To Turn You On, really, really don't like this track at all. It sounds too commercial to me. It just doesn't do anything for me. True to Life, again I struggled with this. I'm glad that they didn't make any more albums after this, because I just think I didn't like the way they'd gone in some of their tracks. Then we get Tara. I love the saxophone from Andy McKay on this. It's wonderful. My third favourite track on the album. Well, that was it. So what do the critics think? In the Village Voices 1982 Paps and Jobs Critics poll, Avalon was voted the 11th best album of the year. In 1989, it was ranked at number 31 on Rolling Stone's magazine list of 100 greatest albums. 1993, Entertainment Weekly included the CD at number 25 as one of their greatest CDs in their top 100. So it went down well. So AllMusic gave it 5 stars. Mojo gave it 4. Q gave it 4. Rolling Stone 4. The Rolling Stone album gave it 4 and a bit. Smash Hits 8 out of 10. Spin Alternative Record Guide 9 out of 10. Uncut 4. Did very well all over the world. Number 1 in UK, Sweden, Norway, New Zealand, Germany and Holland. Certification platinum in the States, platinum in the UK, platinum in New Zealand, platinum in Netherlands, platinum in Canada and platinum in Australia. Okay, I like the album, but it's certainly not their best album. Far from it. I don't mind listening to this. Got a couple of my favourite tracks by them, but some of the others are pretty mediocre. And I personally, this is in my opinion, so my opinion doesn't really count. I don't understand how this was one of their best sellers, in my opinion. I'm going to upset a lot of people saying this now, but people that have got this album probably don't own albums like Pleasure for Your Pleasure or Stranded or Country Life or even Siren. I think this was a Roxy Music album that appealed to everybody, and fair play to them, but as their best album, might be their best selling album, but in my opinion it's not their best ever album. And that's the way it is with me sometimes. Just because it sold gazillions doesn't mean that it's my favourite album. And there's a lot of people out there that feel the same. I know there's a lot of people out here that really do like it. And I do like it, don't get me wrong. I've got no problem with this album, and it is a classic album. And for that reason, because it did sold a patful. But for me personally, nah, there's better ones. I don't know where I'd put this in an album ranking, because I haven't done one yet of Roxy Music. You never know, we might get one later in the year, or later in, I'm getting near the end of the year, sometime in 2023, I'm sure we will. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, that's all for today. It just seems to be getting darker instead of lighter. So I'll be back tomorrow. And what have we got for you tomorrow? We've got a part 2 of looking at Gordon Giltrap for Dave. We're going to look at his collaborations tomorrow. And tomorrow's retro ranking is Simon and Garfunkel. So join me for tomorrow. Whatever you're doing today, have a good day. Keep warm. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.